Today's objective is simple interest. Interest is the money that either A, the bank pays you for keeping your money with them, they lend it out to people and charge them more, and they keep the difference. That's how the banks make money, one of the ways. So B is the money you would pay the bank in addition to the amount you borrow if you are the one taking the loan. So we're going to look at both things today, A and B. Money that you would make for investing money with them and money that you would pay for borrowing money. So let's go over some vocabulary. Interest, money you make on your investment in the bank or money you pay for borrowing. Principal, the amount you put in the bank, your investment, or the amount you're borrowing. Rate, the percentage rate, but percentage rate, that's two words, and heaven forbid we say too much. So we just call it the rate. That's the percentage the bank pays you to get you to put your money in the bank, or the percentage the bank charges you for the privilege of borrowing some money. Time, the amount of time you invest your money or the amount of time you borrow the money. And it's usually in years. You need to remember that it's usually in years. So if it's not an annual rate, if they tell you 9 months, you need to think, oh, that's 3/4 of a year, okay? So interest equals principal times rate times time, which is also known as I equals PRT, or sometimes you'll see it with a capital P but the lowercase r and t, okay? So interest is what you earn on your principal, the amount you originally put in the bank. If you take your principal plus your interest, you'll get your new balance, okay? The amount of money you have, including the interest you made. So you want to know, how much do I have now that I've spent, this time investing my money? Here are the letters for that one. P plus I equals A. Now, you would think it would have been something else since it's the new balance, but A is really what we call the amount you now have in the bank, okay? So it's the amount. So let's do a little problem. Find the interest. You put $1,000 in the bank for 2 years at 5% interest. At 5%, the rate is 5%. Sorry, forgot I said 5% interest. 5%. So this is what we do. We write the formula. We write down what we know, what the principal is, what the rate is, what the time is, and then we find the interest. So here's the formula. I equals PRT. Principal is 1,000. That's how much we put in. The rate is 5%. That's the interest rate, which 5% written as a decimal is 0.05, and the T is 2 years. So let's do our math. Fill in what we know. I equals 1,000 times 0.05 times 2. I know I didn't put the leading zero there, huh? So I did 2 times 1,000 is 2,000, and then 2,000 times 0.05, and yes, you may use calculators, is 100. That means you made $100. So what is your new balance? Well, the amount you have in total is the principal plus the interest. So 1,000 plus 100 is 1,100. So now you have $1,100. That's pretty good. You can also find what you need to pay when you borrow. So let's look at another little story. You need to borrow $15,000 to buy a car. You have some money, but you don't have enough. Your loan is for 5 years at 6%. Notice how you always have to pay more if you're borrowing than you will get. So once again, we write the formula. We list out the principal, the rate, 6%. Don't forget to change it to 0.06 in decimal land. And the time, 5 years. Because remember, to change from a percent to a decimal, percent is for every 100. So you have to move it over 2 zeros, you move the decimal 2 places because you're dividing by 100. Okay, so interest equals 15,000 times 0.06 times 5. This time I decided to just do 5 times 0.06 and got 0.30. Now 15,000 times 0.30, or 30% of 1,500, is 4,500. So the interest you need to pay is 4,500. How much in total will you pay? Well, the amount you pay, the total amount, A, is the principal plus the interest. So 15,000 plus 4,500, 19,500. You're paying 19,500, but you only borrowed 15,000, so I hope you really want that car. Well, what if you know the interest but not the time or the rate? How can you solve that type of problem? Well, here you go. You invested $3,500 at 6% and earned $945 in interest. How long was it invested? How long was your money in the bank? There's other places to invest too, but we're just going to say the bank. Write down our formula, I equals PRT, but this time we know the I. We know the interest is 945, principal is 3,500, the rate is 6%, which in decimal land is 0.06. The time is, I don't know, okay? So when I fill in my numbers into my formula, 945 for I, 3,500 for the principal, 6%, 0.06 for the rate, and when we don't know it, we just put in our variable, our x. So 3,500 times 6% is 210 times x. And now how do I solve this problem? Divide. So I divide both sides by 210. And now x equals 945 divided by 210. And on my handy dandy calculator that told me 4.5. So this means my investment, or your investment, was for 4.5 years. That's what 4.5 means, because we're finding the time. How much do you have now? Remember, your total amount is principal plus interest. So you invested $3,500, you made $945, so now you have $4,445. Yay! That's it.